welcome back to World Bike 55. Today, we're taking a detailed look at a motorcycle that brings together adventure touring capability, strong performance, long-distance comfort, and a surprisingly generous equipment list, the 2026 CFMOTO 700 metric tons. If you're searching for a middleweight adventure motorcycle that can handle daily riding, highway touring, mountain roads, and light off-road exploration without moving into the price territory of larger premium adventure bikes, the 700 metric tons deserves serious attention. The 700 metric tons is built around CFMOTO's established 693 cubic centimeters parallel twin platform, and for the latest generation the company has focused heavily on making the motorcycle more comfortable, more touring-oriented, and more practical for long-distance travel. CFMOTO describes the new 700 metric tons as a multifunctional ADV model with improved ergonomics, greater range, and richer technology. And when you look closely at the specification sheet, you can see exactly where that philosophy comes from. CFMOTO 1. Let's start with the engine, because this is one of the biggest reasons to consider the 700 metric tons. Power comes from a 693 cubic centimeters, liquid-cooled, 4-stroke, DOHC, parallel twin engine. Maximum output is rated at 50 kilowatts at 9,500 revolutions per minute, which is approximately 68 horsepower, while maximum torque reaches 60 Nm at 6,000 revolutions per minute. The engine uses an 83 by 64 mm bore and stroke combination and has an 11.6:1 compression ratio. A 6-speed transmission and wet multiplate slipper clutch complete the drivetrain. CFMOTO 1. On the road, that engine gives the 700 metric tons the kind of character you expect from a middleweight twin. It is not designed to be an extreme superbike-style machine. Instead, the emphasis is on usable acceleration and smooth power delivery. Around town, the torque available through the middle of the rev range should make the bike easy to ride, while on the highway the 693 cubic centimeters engine provides enough performance for comfortable cruising and overtaking. CFMOTO has also worked on the engine response for touring use. Its Chinese market information highlights improvements to the camshaft, exhaust system, and engine management calibration, with more than 90% of peak torque available by around 4,500 revolutions per minute. That means the engine is designed to feel useful before you reach the top end of the rev range. CFMOTO 2. That characteristic is important on an adventure touring motorcycle. You don't always want to constantly chase maximum RPM. When you're riding through traffic, climbing a mountain road, carrying luggage, or riding with a passenger, strong usable torque can make the motorcycle feel much easier and more relaxed. The 6-speed gearbox also helps make the 700 metric tons versatile. Lower gears can give you responsive acceleration when you need it, while 6th gear allows more relaxed highway riding. The slipper clutch is another welcome feature, helping make aggressive downshifts smoother and reducing the chances of unwanted rear-wheel behavior during harder deceleration. Now let's talk about the design, because the 2026 700 metric tons has a very distinctive adventure touring appearance. The motorcycle follows CFMOTO's second-generation MT family design language, with a sharp front section, aerodynamic bodywork, wide handlebars, protective components, and a purposeful ADV stance. It looks like a motorcycle designed to travel rather than simply sit inside a showroom. CFMOTO 1. The front end gives the bike a strong road presence, while the windscreen and surrounding bodywork are designed to provide additional protection from airflow. The windscreen is adjustable, allowing riders to find a more comfortable position depending on their height and riding conditions. The 700 metric tons is available in colors such as Nebula White and Nebula Black in several markets. The dark components, protective panels, and adventure-style proportions give the motorcycle a rugged appearance without making it look excessively complicated. CFMOTO 1. Move to the riding position and the 700 metric tons becomes even more interesting. CFMOTO has given it wide handlebars and an upright riding position. The seat height is listed at around 800 mm in major market specifications, which is relatively approachable for a motorcycle in this category. An optional taller setup is also available in some markets. CFMOTO 3. The riding triangle is clearly designed around long-distance comfort. Instead of forcing the rider into an aggressive forward-leaning position, the 700 metric tons gives you a commanding view of the road. That can be especially useful during long touring days when comfort becomes just as important as outright performance. Another major advantage is the 20-liter fuel tank. CFMOTO says the 700 metric tons can achieve more than 400 kilometers of range under suitable conditions, although real-world range will naturally vary depending on riding style, speed, terrain, weather, load, and fuel consumption. CFMOTO. A 20-liter tank is a major selling point. The combination of 693 cubic centimeters displacement, 50 kilowatts of maximum power, 60 Nm of torque, a 6-speed gearbox, aerodynamic bodywork, and a 20-liter tank makes the 700 metric tons naturally suited to long highway journeys. CFMOTO 1. The engine should feel most comfortable when you allow it to build revs, while the upright position provides good visibility and control. The motorcycle's substantial weight can also contribute to a stable feeling at cruising speeds. However, one thing to keep in mind is that the 700 metric tons is not an ultralight sport touring motorcycle. Independent testing has noted that the engine can require more revs when rapid acceleration is demanded, while the bike's weight can become noticeable during low-speed maneuvering. Some testing has also reported increased vibration and less composure at very high speeds. 1000ps.com, 4. That doesn't necessarily make the motorcycle a poor performer. It simply shows where its priorities are. The 700 metric tons is built around versatility, comfort, range, and equipment rather than chasing extreme top-speed performance. On winding roads, the 19-inch front wheel and adventure-oriented suspension give the bike a stable and confident character. The wide handlebars provide leverage, making it easier to guide the motorcycle through corners. The upright seating position also gives the rider a commanding view of the road ahead. For light off-road use, the 19-inch front and 17-inch rear combination, suspension travel, traction control, switchable rear ABS and applicable specifications, and protective equipment give the motorcycle useful capability. But once again, the 240 kilogram weight means riders should be realistic about how far they want to push it away from paved roads. For everyday city riding, the 700 metric tons has both advantages and disadvantages. The upright position, strong engine, and good visibility are positives. The 800mm seat height is also fairly manageable for a large ADV. But the motorcycle's width and weight can be noticeable in tight traffic and parking situations. CFMOTO 3.